Hey guys, welcome to music class. Here in January, we're going to be doing something a little bit special. We're going to be using some Broadway shows to learn some musical concepts. So in January, you're going to have three shows that we're going to use songs from them and talk about some musical concepts that you're going to listen to. But let's get started with some music class routines. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Let's say our poem. Every good boy does fine on the line. F-A-C-E, face in the space. Good ballerinas deserve fudge always. All cars eat gas. Very good. So 6th grade, you can take a choice. You can either watch these videos and do the assignments that go along with them, or you can work on your Recorder Karate 2 belts and send me videos of those. It's one or the other. You don't have to do both. So if you choose the Recorder Karate belt and you turn one of those in a week, then it takes the place of this assignment. You won't get a 0. You'll get the full amount, the score. Okay? 7th and 8th grade, these are your videos. So you do these and the Google Classroom assignment that accompanies them. So this first lesson in the series of lessons based on songs from Broadway musicals is going to tackle a very, very, very famous song, and it is from Phantom of the Opera. In fact, it is the title song, Phantom of the Opera, from Phantom of the Opera by Andrew Lloyd Webber. We have learned that in the past. We've had him as a composer of the month. If you've been here other years, you know a little bit about Andrew Lloyd Webber. Really famous composer of rock opera. And as you listen to this song, I want you to concentrate on the highs and the lows. So when we say in music, we say high in music, we're talking about really, really high notes like that. Okay, so if something is high, it's that upper note. It's when we're going do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This would be high do, and this would be low do, right? So we high, low. So if something is low, it's on the lower end. If it's high, it's on the higher end, like that, okay? So that's what we're talking about, the movement in pitch, whether the pitch goes up or if it goes down. And when we talk about that with instruments, most of the time, the smaller the instrument, the higher the sound. When you think about a flute or a piccolo, it makes very, very high. I'll try to play some of that because I don't sound like a flute or a piccolo, right? So here you go. Flute or piccolo, yep. That's going to sound different than, say, a bass clarinet, which is a larger woodwind instrument. Bass clarinet sounds like this. Flute or piccolo sounds like this. There you go. Okay, so then also think about string instruments. A violin, a small string instrument, is going to have a higher sound than a string bass, the great big one that looks like a giant violin that stands on the floor and someone either bows or plucks the strings. So those are going to sound different from one another. The smaller the instrument, the higher the sound. The larger the instrument, the lower the sound. Now, in voices, female voices tend to be higher. Okay, I'm going to say that a different way. Adult female voices tend to be higher and adult male voices tend to be lower. Something happens anywhere from maybe 7th grade all the way up through 12th grade in boys. Your voice changes from a child's voice to a man's voice. And so right now, you may have a higher voice, and as you get older, that may deepen and lower and sound more like the deep kind of low Monday man voice, right? Doesn't have to be super low, but it's going to be lower than, say, mine is. As a female soprano, I have a very high voice, singing up here. I don't sound at all like a man, right? So men's voices tend to be lower. Female voices tend to be higher. That's not to say that there aren't women who can sing very low and there aren't men who can sing very high. If you cultivate that part of your voice and you have a certain amount of natural anatomy going on there. Like if you have a larger voice box, larger vocal cords, as a female, you'll be able to sing lower. And if you are a male, you can actually train yourself, and this is, most males can train themselves to actually sing in that head voice, to sing really high. Sometimes it's called falsetto. In fact, kind of fun, weird, kooky fact, there were men in like medieval times, because women were not allowed on the stage. Men played all the parts a very, very long time ago, hundreds of years ago. And there were men in a class called castrati who would do things anatomically to keep their voices high. Whew. No thanks, right? Anyway, so there are men who kind of cultivate being able to sing high, and they can also sing low, like they can do both. And there are females who cultivate being able to sing very low. And so you'll hear some pop singers who can sing very, very low, and they can also sing fairly high. A lot of women will choose one or the other. They'll either cultivate being able to sing very high or very low. There are some exceptional singers who do both. They sing very high and very low. It's just a little bit more unusual. It's exceptional. So there you go. As you listen to this song, The Phantom of the Opera, I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to think about what parts of the song are sung very low and what parts of the song are sung very high. You're going to get kind of an interesting take on this with this song, because Christine, the main female character in The Phantom of the Opera, starts out this song fairly low, and it's going to go very high. And the Phantom of the Opera character, the Phantom character, has a voice that he can go up into those high kind of falsetto-y tones as well, and can sing very low. So I want you to pay really close attention to when they're singing high and when they're singing low. And then after you've watched this video, go do your Google Classroom assignment. Don't forget to click the turn in button after you do that. I hope you have a lot of fun with this assignment. I enjoy musical theater, and I know some of you do too. And maybe those of you who haven't watched this kind of stuff before will get kind of a taste for something a little bit different from what we normally do. Have fun!